Hello everyone, and welcome to the 10k Q&A Extravaganza! Yeah, because there's lots and lots and lots of questions! I was expecting, I did the 1k Q&A, year and a half ago. I was expecting there to be, more questions, obviously, but not a lot more. Seeing as I'm a 1k Q&A, I had to ask in, 10 different videos to get, a dozen questions, maybe? This time I asked in one very lowly viewed video, and I've got, I think, over 60. Definitely over 50, maybe around the 60 mark, so there's a lot of questions. Because there are so many, and because the length of the video is quite long, you've probably clicked on it already and you're like, oh god, why is it so long? Because I ramble, that's mostly why. I'm going to put some timestamps, because I've split it into how many sections I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions and a motorbike. 6 questions and a motorbike. Yeah, apologies if you hear some background noises now and again. It just kind of happens every once in a while. It's a Sunday I'm recording on. People are louder on Sundays. I don't like that. But anyway, the first bit is going to be personal questions. And before I do get into them, apologies if I did miss your question. I'm pretty sure I got all of them, but there's always a chance that it didn't show up or something like that. So if your question isn't here, I do apologise. But there should be everything here, hopefully. And oh god, I'm treating it like a live stream. I'm drinking on camera as well. I'm terrible, aren't I? Utterly terrible. Yeah, I'm doing minimal editing for this most likely, so yay! Anyway, first question. Henrik H asks, how is your day, Sarge? It's alright. Yeah, it's okay. It's only 11:45 in the morning. I've got a live stream coming this afternoon, thinking about playing some Fallout 3 on stream. Not sure if we'll get more viewers in because of the channel's growth a bit. I had some cereal this morning. Turns out my milk had gone off though, so I had to borrow my mum's milk. Just, take that out of the fridge, take back. I don't have a sense of smell as well, so I literally had to go downstairs and go, hey, can you smell the bottle of milk, see if it's okay? So, getting breakfast took quite a while. I only had it, 15 minutes ago. So, it was basically lunch, to be honest. And I replied to some comments, some of which weren't great, because, the whole 76 video, me having a damn positive attitude, but overall, I'm hopeful for the day. It's not been the best start, but it's not terrible and got me, down in the dumps or anything either. And that was a really basic question that I just spent, a good 30 seconds on. This is going to take a while. Next up, Limitless Trash asks, how is life? Yeah, it's okay. There's ups and downs, definitely. The ups are the video and the 10k subs. That's been huge. I was not expecting that. Social Blade was saying, the 23rd, I think was the earliest date. They said I'd hit 10k subs. And it happened 4 days before that, so that was very good to see. Work kind of sucked recently, but that's standard at this point, so yeah, ups and downs. YouTube's getting a bit better, work's getting a bit worse. I'm kind of stuck in the middle with you. I may sing a few times during this, I do apologise. Now, next up, Twanaka says, what is your goal in life, and what keeps you going when things get tough? Now, I really like this question, because I asked almost this exact same thing to Tony Moe in his 50k Q&A, and I'm trying not to give his exact same answer, because that's kind of what I want to do. But yeah, I asked him, oh, with demonetization, all of that stuff, how do you keep going, keep staying positive when things get tough? This is almost the same question, but... Okay, goal in life, become immortal, obviously. You think I'm joking? I'm not. I'd actually like to become immortal. That's like the big goal. The big goal, never die. The little goal is also don't die, but they are slightly different things. And yeah, goal in life other than that, I don't have a huge one, but there's a lot I want to do. Tell a lot of stories. I've got quite a few stories to tell, and we'll get to that later in the questions as well, because that will come up again. As for what keeps me going when things get tough, determination. That's determination and willpower. It's not the answer you probably want, because it's not something where I can be like, oh yeah, just do this thing and it becomes a bit easier. No, it's literally a case of I just keep going. No matter what happens, I keep on going. I don't ever want to stop. Which comes back to the immortality thing as well. But yeah, just keep going, push for everything. Keep on doing everything possible in your power. Never hold up, never take a break, never relax. Oh, I'm terrible at giving advice, so this is great. Yeah, just determination, willpower. They're things that you hopefully build up over time. Like before, when I was younger, I swear I wasn't at all good with dealing when things get tough. But now that I've had to deal with more stuff, it's just kind of like, yep, I'm just going to keep going. It's all fine. I just noticed my beard's a bit funny at the moment, sorry. Next up though, Ace Up asks, what are your likings? What is your age? What is your real name? Why are you the coolest YouTuber? So 4 questions there. 4 questions there in one. There's a few people who have done multiple questions in once. As for what are my likings, I mean, I like video games. I like making YouTube content. I like writing and reading, although I don't do those anywhere near as much as I should do. I like movies a lot. Movies, and not just watching movies, but like studying them. Like, I'm a big fan of channels like Every Frame a Painting and, oh, what's the other one I really like? There's another one I can't remember the name of. I might pop it up somewhere, hopefully, if I'm good. But yeah, I like studying stuff. I like learning, but I'm not very good at it at times. I like a lot of things. That's a very vague question, to be honest. And my age, I am 22? What year is it? It's 2018, isn't it? I'm having to check this on my PC. 21st of October 2018. Yeah, I'm 22. I'm 22 years old. He says with so much confidence. I'm 22. Yes, just nod, reassure yourself. My name. Well, more specifically, what is your real name? I've been going back and forth, because these comments were left, like, maybe 4 or 5 days ago now. I've been going back and forth on whether I should reveal my real name. Because the thing is, I'm not, like, against people knowing my name so much. It's more, I have a problem in real life with people using multiple names with me and getting them mixed up. Because in real life, a lot of people call me Sarge. That's fairly standard. And at work, I work in a place with, I'm trying to show you a radio, with radios. And we talk into the radios and do stuff like that. We also have tons and tons of new people. And they do often get confused by the fact that people use my real name, quotations there, and also call me Sarge. Because I've got 2 different names, which throws people off a bit. So I prefer just going by Sarge. It makes things a lot easier and means people will call me Sarge, which I respond to a lot more as well. My real name, I have a habit of not responding to. It's quite bad. I'm just like, you're talking to someone else, aren't you? When people say Sarge, I'm like, oh yeah, they're talking to me. That's fine. So yeah, I guess I'm not revealing my real name. Not just yet, anyway. There are a fair few of you watching who know my name. It's not like it's a huge secret, but it's easier for me just to be called Sarge. So, yeah, sorry about that, Ace. And why are you the coolest YouTuber? Because I don't reveal my real name. No, I'm not the coolest YouTuber. I'm glad I've built up an audience, and I'm glad people enjoy my content, and I do a lot of stuff to try and make myself appealing. Like, before the stream, I started downing energy drinks, so I'm a bit more lively and active. I also edited, like, the whole background. That was a tip. I changed all of that. There's lots of little things you can do to make content just a little bit better. And lots of people don't do them. I used to hang out on the YouTubers subreddit quite a bit. I'm going to have a drink and then pop that down. I used to hang out on the YouTubers subreddit quite often. And so many people just could have been such better content creators by putting a little bit more effort in. Like cutting out just little bits and pieces where they weren't talking, or tidying up the background, or just cutting just things out that really weren't needed, or just adding a tiny bit of flair to something when it could have been done. There's always lots of little things that make a big difference. It's rarely like one massive thing that makes a good YouTuber. I've changed the comment there, the question there slightly, but sure, why not? Now though, something a bit easier to answer. Shadow Penguin asks, what is your name? What is your quest? What is VSB velocity of a swallow? I need to redo that, because that's not quite how it goes. What it goes is, what is your name? Sarge, content creator of YouTube. What is your quest? To seek algorithmic success. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow, it's supposed to be? What do you mean? African or European swallow? There we go, got through that. Second time, sure. And MDM Gaming next asks, do you have a girlfriend? And in your opinion, what do you think of the way that gaming is going with more multiplayer and less single player / couch co-op? So, two very different questions there. The second one should have belonged in the other bit. I should have split those up, but I didn't, so now I'll answer it. Do I have a girlfriend? No. That's a nice, easy one to answer. And in my opinion, what do I think of the way gaming is going with more multiplayer and less single-player / couch co-op? I don't mind it, especially if stuff like 76, which, not out yet, and people are already slating me a bit for my opinion, but looks like it can be played solo and can be played multiplayer, which is something very, very nice to see. And that's something that a lot of games can do, but often people won't see it as that. Like, I play multiplayer games, like, on my second channel, I played Titanfall 2, I played Battlefield 4, I played Battlefield 1. Those games are multiplayer, but you can play them on your own. You don't need, like, friends and stuff to group up with to play them. And even 76, which has a lot of teamwork mechanics by the looks of it, does appear that you can play it on your own and get a lot of fun out of that. So, I'd say that isn't too bad, because it gives you a mix of a single-player and a multiplayer experience, as opposed to being something like... Okay, the best example I can think of is like Rainbow Six Siege, where because it's a very tactical game, going in just on your own with like randoms, if you go up against a team or talking to each other, you're probably going to lose. Not necessarily, but it's something where there's more of a requirement to have friends to play with. However, something that is a bit sad to see is couch co-op going away a bit more. To be fair, I don't socialise anymore, so it doesn't affect me too much. But I did always used to like playing like the old COD games like Black Ops 2 and stuff with my friends. Like, even if they came around nowadays, the game I'd probably default to is Black Ops 2. Because that's a good couch co-op game for just like, you don't need to invest time into it. Like Borderlands, you can play that couch co-op, but that's got a long story and stuff. If they just come over for a few hours or something, we can just be like, oh yeah, we'll have a dozen or so matches, just ballistic knife only, something like that. Something fun. Couch co-op really is one of the most fun ways of gaming. So it's a shame to see not quite as many games focused on that. But I'm on PC now anyway, so couch co-op isn't really a thing on here. Which is probably my biggest pet peeve with PC over console. Console's a lot better for playing with friends in the same location. Now, next up, the Third Crusader. No! Siri! 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 Why? I hate Siri. I've tried to turn that damn thing off so many times. Okay, next question. The Third Crusader, what do you plan on doing in the future in terms of a job, home, YouTube, etc.? So my entire future plans, and now we cut away to 10 hours later. No, so, job and YouTube, kind of the same thing. I'm planning on doing YouTube full-time start of next month. Possibly slightly before that, actually, according to my boss, but yeah, start of next month, I'm going to try and do YouTube full-time. Definitely for like 3 to 6 months. Hopefully for at least a year. I'm going to see how that goes, and then kind of work around that. If that ends up being successful, I can stick with it, and then I can work on other projects I've got aside from YouTube as well. If it goes terribly, I'll just go and get another job. I've got 3 years retail experience, and I'm a damn hard worker with a good CV, so getting another job isn't a huge deal for me. As for home, I'm living in this place right now. I'm probably going to be living here quite a long time. I've moved houses dozens and dozens of times. I'm happy to stay here for a while. The rent's not terrible. Yeah, I can deal with living here. There's some downsides to living out here, but it's not that bad. So, for now, everything will remain somewhat similar to how it is, except for more YouTube-based stuff. And everything possibly going horribly. Now, Avid Gamer asks, what's your favourite non-gaming hobby? Probably watching movies. Yeah, watching movies and YouTube, to be honest. Watching YouTube as well. Yeah, I like consuming a lot of visual media. I used to like reading a lot, I just don't do it anymore because it's slower than watching a movie or reading a book. I like doing all that stuff, seeing how people create stories, seeing how people create content. It's something I really enjoy. Now, Nathan Gulliver says, Big Dave, how was your Saturday, mate? My Saturday was pretty... Oh, I've got to stop doing the voice now. My Saturday was pretty alright. There was, once again, more comments that I got to reply to, which was fun. I've actually been told by Kado to stop, well, to focus on replying to the good ones so much as opposed to the bad ones. Because I do reply to all of the comments if I can. Which is not always a good thing. But yeah, there was replying to lots of comments wasn't so great. There were some good ones, but a lot of people just spreading hate and insults, which just kind of sucks. And work was hell as well. I was upstairs, just on foot, we're on my own. Lots of like somewhat annoying customers as well, who just kind of got a bit lippy with me, because there was just one of me and I was trying to do everything at once. But even at work, I had a friend end up helping me out at some point before the manager told him to stop, which was fun. But yeah, there was bad points in Saturday, but there were also good points. I had some really nice moments. Admittedly, the highlight of my Saturday was being nice to someone else. There was like a homeless guy on the street who, as I walked past first time, was like, "Oh, I hope you have a good day, mate." And I was like, "Oh, that's quite nice." And when I wandered back, I was like, "Okay, I'm going to get myself a baguette from Yam Yams. I'll buy him one too." And I gave him a baguette, and he was really, really happy about it. I was like, yeah, that kind of made my Saturday better. So, be nice. Be nice. It makes you feel better. It turned what could have been a fairly bad day into a good day. Now, Preston Gravy, not Garvey, as I first thought it would have been spelt. No, it's G-R-V-E-Y, so Preston Gravy, I guess, asks, "Are you a thick boy?" Now, the spelling of thick, as well as boy, makes me assume it's a weight issue. I don't know why I'm pulling up my skin here. A weight issue as opposed to like a intelligence questioning thing. And I don't know. Let's stand up. I can show you all. I'm like this body shape. Let's see if I tuck that in. Yeah. What? You guys have to make up your own opinion, I guess. That's what my body looks like. Kind of. I'm not stripping down, obviously, because that's a bit weird. Yeah, that's my physical shape. Leave in the comments below. Am I a thick boy? Why did I do that? Okay, next up, David Chu asks, "What's your favourite TV show?" I don't really watch that much TV. It's all like Netflix and YouTube, so it's sometimes difficult for me to go, "Oh yeah, that's on TV." But I'd probably say Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I like that. It's good kind of casual viewing. It's got like interesting characters, bit of action to it, plenty of comedy. It's a good, nice mix. I wouldn't say it's like the best TV show out there or anything, but it's a lot of fun to watch and doesn't like require too much from me, which is nice. And Top Orange 007 asks, "What is your opinion on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?" I haven't watched it. I don't even know what it's about. I'm certain it's an anime, but that's about it. Yeah. Sorry. Now, Ramen Raccoons 1 asks, "What made you want to start YouTube?" And I suppose the honest answer is I don't really know so much. So this isn't the first YouTube channel I've had. I've done like multiple YouTube channels before, and I don't know what made me want to start those because it was a long time ago and my memory doesn't work properly. But as for this channel, I decided I just wanted to like share what I was doing kind of with the world, almost. And there was, right from the start, a small financial incentive to it. I was like, oh, okay, I'll make some content, and you never know, I might make back a bit of money so I can afford more games to play. That was the original thinking. I never thought I'd even get to the success I'm at now. I was like, oh yeah, a couple of thousand subscribers, maybe a $5 a week. Yeah, that'll buy me a new game every few months. That's quite nice. Yeah, let's do that. It'll be fun and give me a hobby to do with all the free time I've got. So yeah, there was definitely a financial edge to it, but it was more just fun. I wanted to have a bit of fun with it, and I enjoy making content and editing. I actually quite enjoy editing, despite the fact I'm not doing enough of it with my videos. Now, next up, Arcanine asks, "How do you get an amazing beard?" Genetics is the answer to that. Yeah, I must admit, my beard's really scruffy at the moment. I can see the webcam when I record these things now, and I'm really not happy with how my beard is. I gave it a quick clean up before the stream, but I'm not really 100% with it. Yeah, beard-wise, it's mostly genetics. I know people who like put oils and stuff on their beards. I just kind of wash mine with water. Yeah, it's just a beard. You either have it or don't, I'm afraid. There's not much advice I can give on that. But thanks for the compliment anyway. And My Hentai Girl asks, "How do you feel working at a retail?" As in, retail job. And, yeah, not great. Not great at all. Especially in my current job is not particularly good. Hence, I'm quitting. And yeah, at the time this video comes out, I think I've only got like a week's worth of shifts left. Yeah, so by the end of the month, I'm done entirely. And my manager actually spoke to me and was like, oh yeah, we don't have enough hours, so you're probably not going to be working the last couple of days you gave notice for. So I was like, oh okay, which is quite good, because that's when the PC beta for 76 comes out, so I should be able to play that, yay! So yeah, I don't particularly enjoy retail, so I'm leaving! I've quit my job. I don't know what I'm titling this yet, but I'm tempted to put I quit my job as, like, not a clickbait title, but something to grab people's attention. Because something else, clickbait, is when they promise to give you something that's not actually in the video. Titling, like, if I title this video, I quit my job, and I tell you, yeah, I've quit my job, that's not clickbait, that's just a title designed to grab people's attention. And a final question, Sean Gleason asks, yeet. Now, on to the next section, a bit of an easier one this time, general gaming questions, only got like 5 or 6 questions here, so it's fine. Also, apologies that I kind of click my head every time I'm like, now, or now, and we're talking. Oh, I just clicked my neck. Yeah, apologies, I'm no good with being on webcam. Being on camera is not something I'm suited for, clearly. But to the actual questions, the point of the whole video. Limitless Trash asks, how do you tolerate playing Fallout 4 and Skyrim? Now, Skyrim, I don't really play anymore because I played too much of it. I did get burnt out on both playing it and making content for it. Fallout 4, on the other hand, I do jump back into from time to time because I enjoy kind of just the actual gameplay mechanics of that a lot more. Being able to shoot things, snipers, even melee, which I don't use too much, is sometimes fun. And there's still new stuff for me to do in Fallout 4. There's not a lot of new stuff, admittedly, but there's a few things I haven't done already, like, in the DLCs especially, like Far Harbor and Nuka World, there's quests I haven't done in that. There's lots of stuff I've, like, watched YouTube videos on, but haven't engaged in myself. So, Fallout 4 is quite easy for me to play. Skyrim, on the other hand, thousands of hours of playing it. Now I just don't really want too much anymore. So I don't really tolerate playing it anymore. It's stopped being fun for me, so I don't play it. Simple as that. And Shadow Penguin asks, which features or mechanics did you like the least in Skyrim and would like to see replaced or amended for Elder Scrolls 6? The thing that kind of pops to my mind first of all is combat. Because combat in general isn't bad, especially the different styles, like you can be sneaky, assassin, slicing throats, you can do the whole archery thing, you can do lots of magic. But the way you actually do all of that is either on PC, click the thing once and you do a swing, or on controller, pull the trigger once, you do a swing or throw the spell or something like that. I'd like a combat system that's more interesting, not necessarily ridiculously complicated or anything, like For Honor has a, not like super complicated, but a much more complicated system of fighting. I don't think it needs to be like that advanced, but obviously I've been playing a lot of Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning recently, and even that combat system, despite still being fairly simple, works very well at letting you do multiple things and stack up attacks and do combos. Like, combos is something that I feel is missing from Skyrim. So, Elder Scrolls 6, better combat system. That's a big thing. Because Fallout can get away with it with, like, guns and stuff. Because first-person shooter mechanics are fairly straightforward and you can't integrate too much. And you've got VATs for body limbs. Whereas Skyrim, it's all just rah. And even on a bow, it's not that great. So, combat, yeah, combat. I'll finish the question, Sarge. Next up, Damon Rose asks, what got you into Fallout, and are you gonna ever stream on Twitch? Answer the Twitch part first, because that's easier. I have no intentions or plan to. That doesn't mean I'm never going to, but for now, I'm just sticking to streaming on YouTube, because it's where my player base, my viewer base is, and fan base is, and I'm more of a video creator than a streamer. I do enjoy streaming, but my streams tend to be quite short, and once a week. I'd be willing to do it more, but it's not financially viable for me as opposed to making videos. As for what got me into Fallout, friends of mine talked about the game for quite a while before I ever got my hands on it. And I heard, like, really good stories about, oh, I mutated and got, like, an extra arm and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, this game sounds so cool. Then I actually came to play Fallout 3, and I was actually disappointed. Because I heard these stories and have this amazing thing in my head where I was like, oh my god, I'm just going to, like, go into radiation, and then I'll have, like, an arm sprout out of there, and I'll be like, oh my god, a giant walking death machine. It wasn't what I expected, which made me disappointed, but then I played New Vegas, I gave that a try, I was like, hey, I really like this. Then I went back to Fallout 3 and I was like, okay, I don't like the opening, but now that I've got through the opening, I'm quite enjoying this. So I got into Fallout because friends recommended it to me. I then didn't like it originally, but after a bit of time, I went back to it and I was like, okay, I can appreciate this game for what it is. I do actually really enjoy it. And over time, I just grew to enjoy it more and more. I played the older games in the series, and since then I've obviously played Fallout 4. I got that like 6-7 months after release. And now, for Fallout 76, it's going to finally be the first Fallout game I'll play at launch, which will be quite the experience for me. And Rand van den Dolder, hope I got that right, asked, what is your favourite Skyrim build? I don't know, he did ask either mine or someone else's. It is going to be one of mine. Other people do make good builds, don't get me wrong. There's tons of channels out there which make some very good builds of different styles as well that I do enjoy, but I don't tend to watch builds too often anymore because I've made so many. It's just like, oh, okay, now they're going to do this, and now this is going to happen, now this is going to happen, and I just see like the entire background work when I watch it instead of actually being able to appreciate and enjoy the build so much. But a favourite Skyrim build, I'd either say my Rift and Hold build, whose name I can't remember. Oh wow, I really can't remember the name. It was a Dark Elf, like, bandit type character. I really liked him. Or the Dark Knight, which was my best mounted build. Because I do quite enjoy mounted combat in Skyrim, which a lot of people don't. But yeah, one of those two I'd put as my favourite build. Next up, Frederick Nilsson asked, what will be your initial build for Fallout 76? Mostly special since perk cards will be swapped around when playing. I'm planning on doing a Charisma Intelligence build mostly, because I want to play with a lot of you and other content creators and actual like IRL friends of mine who I haven't spoken to in quite some time. I want to play with all of those. Charisma's good for sharing perks. Intelligence seems to be crafting, which is a big part of it. So that's going to be my focus. But I won't know for certain about other special stats until I actually get into the game, see perk cards, see how things work. So for now, Charisma Intelligence, be kind of a squad leader almost. And finally for this section, Madara Uchiha? I have no idea how to pronounce that, I'm afraid. Asks, what is the best race? And, well, bit of a tricky question there, isn't it? No, I'm pretty sure they're talking about Skyrim. And guess what? I made a video on this subject. Go watch it now. Somewhere on screen, hopefully. Providing I edit this properly. If it's not on here, get me in the comments and be like, Sarge, you're such a terrible editor. Yeah, races in Skyrim aren't too important. Mostly role-playing, I'd say, is the big thing on what makes you decide a race. But stuff like, I'd say, Orc, Breton, High Elf, probably top 3 choices. All very, very strong. Now on to the next section, we've got YouTube/content questions. An amazing title I've given there. To start off, Fred Blue says, my son, who's aged 11, would like to know the equipment you use for recording live streams and Let's Plays. So let's break this down because there's actually quite a few different things. I use, for live streams, it's OBS. It's a free software, it's pretty good. I don't like it for recording videos, but it's good for live streaming. You can get like integrations with other things. And setting it up with YouTube isn't too difficult. You can find tutorials just about everywhere. For recording video like I'm doing now with a webcam and all of that, I use NVIDIA Shadowplay. It's for PC. You do need an NVIDIA graphics card to use it though. Once you get it set up, it's quite easy. However, I did have issues in the past where the audio didn't sync up with the video when I recorded. So now for audio, I use Audacity, which is what's running right now. Audacity also lets me do like voiceovers outside of recording at the same time, and there's a few things I can edit with it, like noise reduction, which makes the sound quality a lot better, so you don't hear as much of background noise. Like my computer is making a slight sound right now, which you'd just be able to hear in the background. With noise reduction, I can make it so you shouldn't be able to hear it. I also use a few other bits and bobs here and there for like added stuff, because the equipment was for recording live streams and Let's Plays, but as well as recording, there's also the editing. I use DaVinci Resolve 15, which is another bit of free software. Yeah, all of the stuff I use is free, which is pretty great. Yeah, DaVinci Resolve 15, which is quite an advanced editor, compared to a lot of the free stuff that's out there. Like, I've used various other free bits like Windows and, I can't even remember it, VSDC free editor. That stuff's all fairly basic, and it's fine for if you're just kind of getting into it and just need to, like, okay, I can do cuts, that's all I'm interested in. DaVinci Resolve 15, though, is a lot better for if you want to go just a little bit more advanced. Like, it's easy to do zooms, transitions, all of that basic stuff, and it just works really well. It's even got super advanced stuff that I don't know much about yet, like nodes, and you can put LUA coding in there. It's really good. Like, I advise you, anyone looking to make content or wanting to edit should check it out, especially if you don't have a lot of money, because it costs you nothing to get the free version. Yay! And the free version has almost everything the paid one does, it seems. There's very few times I've had it pop up and say, oh, you can't use this, it's a paid thing. It's happened like twice, maybe, in all the time I've had it. So, yeah, very good. Anything else I use? I'm thinking just quickly before I go. I think that's pretty much it for what I use. Oh, I do actually own an Elgato capture card for recording off the Xbox. However, I don't do that anymore as it's very slow. Like, it takes ages for it to process the video, and then my editor doesn't like the video format, and yeah, I just decided it's not worth it and just to stick to PC because it's easier for me. But Elgato does make good capture cards, the quality is always decent on them, there's lots of little settings, and I believe you can live stream from it as well, which is decent. Now, next up, June Agnes. I don't think I've ever pronounced or tried to pronounce your last name, so apologies if that's wrong. But June asks, what is the future of the channel with Fallout 4 and other games? Fallout 4 will stick around, but you're going to be seeing a lot less of it once 76 starts coming out, because that is going to be the main focus of the channel. It's not going to be entirely 76 videos, especially the live streams. I'll likely use that as a way to show some other content every once in a while, but 76 is going to be the main focus. We're going to become kind of a 76 channel, because it's the best way for me to grow. Focus on one game, bring fans of that game over, have them be invested. It's the easiest way to grow on YouTube. You make a variety channel like I've kind of been doing over the past few months. Things don't go too well, get more of a focus on a single game, people stick around, watch more of the content. So Fallout 4 won't disappear entirely. I do have plenty of plans for it, and plans for other games you've seen, but it's going to fade away a bit in favour of 76. Nicholas Bijleveld, butchering more and more names here, asks, where do you see your channel going, and are you planning to make other things, or are you planning on making more guides? As for where I see my channel going, I'm hoping it grows exponentially. I'm hoping I kind of end up in the big leagues, kind of with creators like Fudge Muppet, Camelworks, even Kado. He's got like 8 times as many subs as me, so if I can get to like that kind of level, I'll be pretty happy. But yeah, I just want my channel to keep growing, keep drawing in more people, and keep being enjoyed by lots of people as well. Especially people who have been here from the early days as well. Like, it's nice to see, I'm looking through the names of some of the commenters as well. A fair few of you, I'm like, okay, they've been around for a decent bit of time. A couple of you are more recent, like I see Lord Peanut Butter has a question coming up, and he's a relatively more recent person, but he's stuck around. And I always do like seeing when I get like a comment, and then a couple of days later they've commented again. It's nice to see people sticking around, and MDM Gaming as well. I really like, because he's a patron. I've got Patreon link in the description and stuff. He's a patron, he's always very supportive, and he jumps around channels when people recommend other stuff, which is something I love seeing people do. Like, you know, when people go, oh yeah, and this channel makes really good stuff, go check them out. I really like it when people actually do that. It's nice to see, because MDM just like will go over quite often and be like, oh yeah, I'll watch this stuff, and if he enjoys it, he sticks around on the channel. Like, he watches JayTtv now, because I was like mentioning him multiple times on Twitter and all of that stuff. And I think he watches Mashup Matt as well for the same reason. It's really nice when I see that kind of thing. I'm going off topic now though, aren't I? I'm going to read the question again and then carry on answering. Yeah, where do I see my channel going was the actual question. Keep growing exponentially, all of that stuff. And are you planning to make other things, or are you planning on making more guides? I plan on making somewhat varied content for 76. There's definitely going to be a lot of guides. I want to do kind of like a... I want to do a Let's Play as well, but it's going to be a bit different from standard Let's Plays most likely, due to the nature of the game, it being multiplayer and stuff. Might be something where you see other creators drop in, might be something where I just kind of do it as like random episodes here and there. I'm not entirely sure till I get my hands on the game, but I also have ideas for cinematic content to create, but that takes ages. Like, I've been working for about a month or so now, just in whatever off time I get to work on some cinematic stuff. So damn long to make that kind of stuff. So I'd like to do like really big projects too, but I can't justify spending too much time on them until I've got like a bit of money steadily coming in from the stuff that takes less time to make. Now, Lucas Ponce asks, would you consider making Fallout 76 builds as your content? I plan to. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do them. The big thing is backstories, which might change. I might do, like, role-playing instead of a proper backstory. And early on, I likely won't make backstories with the builds, just so I can get them out faster. But depending on what the audience wants, I might do, like, what I did with the recent Fallout 4 builds, and just put a backstory at the end, after people can see, like, the loadout and all of that stuff, which a lot of more casual viewers will be tuning in for. So, definitely going to be Fallout 76 builds coming to the channel. Now, Lord Peanut Butter asks, what is your favourite part of being a YouTuber? I get to make my own choices, and I don't really have a proper boss. I really like the whole self-employed element of it. Like, once I start doing it full-time, I will kind of be self-employed, yeah, that's really nice. And it's also, I choose when I'm going to work, how I'm going to work, all of that stuff. Like, this morning, I was sorting out these questions into the categories, making sure I have them in an order that made sense, and at the same time, I was watching Get Good Guy stream. And I could do that. When I'm at my, like, jobby job, which is a boring retail one, I stand around, I have to go to places that I'm told to go to, I have to do all of this basic stuff, I have to wear a horrible uniform where the trousers feel like they're invisible, so I feel like I'm walking around half naked, and my shirt on top's way too hot, so I'm always sweating, I have to work in kind of terrible conditions, I can't go to the toilet when I like. I did a recording, like a Let's Play recording for Kingdoms of Amalur, like last week or something, where I found a safe spot, I just paused the game, I was like, okay, I need to go to the toilet, so I just go in there, went to the toilet, came back, went back on, and I obviously can just edit that out. That's not going to be a problem for anyone. I was like, sweet, I can do that. And computer, please don't die. Cool, cool. My computer screen just went, so you would have seen my light go. Yeah, I like having freedom. Freedom is my favourite thing about being a YouTuber. It's really nice. That and the community. I probably would have answered the community first, but with the comments I've got recently on the video, on the 76 one, like, my fan base, like the people in my Discord, who follow me on Twitter, stuff like that, people who are more engaged, I like talking to. Now, Leaf H asks, how are you planning to hymn the Bad Company mercenaries once Fallout 76 comes out? To be clear, I mean more how you'll handle people in other countries with different time frames from you wanting to join. You salvaged it at the end of that question, I will say that. The start of it, I was like, I'm not sure what he's asking. But by the end, you made yourself clear. Yeah, I've mentioned briefly before that Bad Company is going to be in 76. Like, I'm Sarge, I'm going to be running Bad Company, which is a mercenary faction, which I'm kind of making for the game. Yeah, it's going to be quite fun. And, as he says, there will be people in different time frames. I'm planning on using the Discord to organise things. Also, once I go full-time with YouTube, I can potentially have, like, sometimes where I stay up later or wake up earlier to play with people in different countries at a time that's better for them. Which is another nice freedom part right there. Because it means that they're not having to work around me so much, I can make it slightly better for them. So I think I'll be able to deal with all of that. There will obviously be times where people are like, oh, I'm free for literally 1 hour a day, and it turns out it's like 2 AM in the morning for me, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to play with you, sorry. But I'll be using the Discord to organise a lot of stuff, and I'll likely make, like, probably specific Fallout 76 ranks as well, or I might just use my enforcers as, like, lieutenants of the army, of Bad Company, maybe? So I'll be like, oh, okay, this person maybe wants to squad up, and you can squad up with them. Join the Discord server. I'll work it out. I sound so confident here, don't I? Yeah, I'm going to be organising a lot of stuff through Discord for the 76, for group activities, all of that. And yeah, that's basically it for now. Things will get sorted. Don't worry about it too much. If you want to play with me at all, message on the Discord. It will happen. Almost for certain. Now, Sebastian Thorvaldsson. I think I got that name right. Let's hope so. And apologies for saying now before every name. When does Skyrim content return? Specific Skyrim content that's just Skyrim isn't coming back until probably the run-up to Elder Scrolls 6. That's the truthful answer to it. I have, for the Wanderer Wednesdays video that's coming up on this same week, there was a bit of Skyrim footage in there, and I mentioned the game, and I do plan on going back to it a little bit to get, you know, just a bit of footage here and there, do some interesting stuff, mostly for Wanderer Wednesdays most likely, but there's not going to be Skyrim content in the same way. And Brian Thurber also asked, are there any upcoming Skyrim playthroughs? And the answer for that is a definite no. I can't justify a full playthrough of Skyrim again. I've done 2 survival modes, whatchamacallit, I'm trying to get my hand in camera. I've done no kill. I've done like 3 different segments of a level 1 run. I did a standard Let's Play as well. Am I missing anything out? I've done at least 7 playthroughs, or Let's Play style series of a game. That's more than enough for people to watch. I do have another one planned, but that's going to be on the run-up to Elder Scrolls 6, as opposed to me doing it anytime soon. And the final question in this part is, how is your channel doing? And, I mean, we've just hit 10k, so that's pretty good. Yeah, it's going alright, and my channel was going quite badly like a week ago. Like, everything was dropping down a bit. Now, everything's just skyrocketed back up. Like, I've made more money as well, probably in the past couple of days than I had in the past couple of weeks off of YouTube, which is kind of crazy, but good to see. Means good things are hopefully coming. Now, you've all been very, very good sitting around watching me talk for, I've been recording for almost 45 minutes now. This is going to be one of the longest videos I've ever brought to the channel, so now we have a bit of light entertainment provided by JayTtv. Welcome to the cooking segment. JayTtv attempts a roast. Now, a roast is quite difficult, so we'll have to see just how well JayTtv has mastered this difficult cooking technique. His first attempt? How long until you give up gaming videos? I think you would be a great generic vlogger. Well, that's an alright roast, I guess. He's not giving like a direct insult, which is what a lot of people make the mistake of, but it's not fully out there as something too controversial or too jabby. I do agree I would make a great generic vlogger. I mean, my day generally consists of walking, eating, working a terrible job, recording a video, editing a video, making that, and watching stuff on my Xbox. So yeah, it would be the best vlog channel in the world. Or at least more exciting than your channel. Now, next one. What is the best gender? Now, this isn't a roast. It actually is kind of a question. It's kind of controversial because of the whole multiple genders thing that goes around. Fortunately though, MDM Gaming stepped in and said, boo! And the answer is toasters. See, MDM Gaming, he knows, on a roast, you can get a bit of almost a pun in there. Bring in toasters, the whole cooking thing, roast. He gets it. Jay doesn't. And next one by Jay says, what is your favourite JayTtv video? Now, despite the blatantly trying to advertise his own channel there, link probably is going to be in description admittedly, I'd have to say it would be one of those Far Cry 5 videos you did with a really charismatic British YouTuber. Those were pretty good, especially the fact he was so much better at the game than you. Otherwise, your own roast videos are quite entertaining. You don't really make them entertaining. It's one of the commenters who leaves multiple comments giving you tons of stuff to feed off. He's really, really funny. I gotta say, he's pretty great. He's the best part of your videos most of the time. And next up, he does, if you had to challenge another YouTuber to a boxing match, who would it be and why? I personally don't really do boxing. is the honest answer to that. Yeah, I'm answering this more like an actual question. I know a few people who do boxing and have done like boxing events and stuff, and it's not really for me. I think I'm at a weird mindset that fighting is fighting and boxing's more of a sport thing, and I'm not huge into sports, especially seeing as it's a bit of a crossover, like with wrestling, which is like an entertainment thing as well. They're not proper fighting, if that makes sense. Because in a proper fight, you don't go, oh, well, I need to hit them in this place to get 1 point. You go, chair, smash, smash, smash. So, if I'm allowed to break the rules, probably go with any YouTubers I don't like, any of the, like, Logan Pauls or people like that, who are just kind of... If it's, like, for an actual fun match for fun, let's do it with any of the people on my featured channels. Anyone on the featured channels, take a look. You in the comments can decide who I should fight against in there. Go for it. And finally, going back to it, he tries one more... It's not a roast. No, it's not. He says, wait. I got one to help with the title. It doesn't help with the title. Kiss, Marry, Kill, JayTtv, Mashup Matt, and Logan Paul. And he adds in, feel free to replace Logan Paul with another highly searchable YouTuber if you wish. So, JayTtv not only recycles content for his own videos, but also to comment on other people's ones. He might as well be the leader of the Green Party at this rate, all that recycling he's doing. Now, see, I think this is a trick question, because what you actually do in these scenarios is you do all three to all of them. So you kiss them, which obviously makes them want to marry you, and then once they're married, you kill them and get all their money and stuff. It's the perfect crime. I've been minted! Plus, I'd have 2 extra channels, JayTtv and Mashup Matt, so not bad. Oh, and Logan Paul's one, which I would just delete, obviously. Now, that is the end of a cooking segment. Let's take a look at JayTtv's roast, Dan. Oh, God, it's still alive. He didn't even cook it. Jeez. Wow. JayTtv is not going to be a chef, or even that great of a comedian at any time. Oh, I'm sorry, Jay. No, Jay's actually quite a nice guy. We give each other a bit of a ribbing. But yeah, go check out his channel. He does a bunch of roast videos, which I feature on very heavily. Like his most recent roast, I'll put in the cards as well, because that's basically just my video, it might be. Next up, we have another segment based on just one person. This is John's Question Cascade, because John Hillman asked 12 questions amidst 2 comments. He had 11 in one, then sneaked in another one on the channel discussion bit, which is a bit outside of the rules, but I allowed it because it's a good question. First up, what percentage of your viewers/subscribers come from what countries? And I'm very bad and didn't actually research this beforehand, so what I'm going to do now is load up YouTube and check the statistics right now. I'm also going to ignore those free notifications, because let's not read terrible comments. Also, the video just hit 12k, but 76.1. Alright, I've finally found it. I can't actually find viewers/subscribers so well, but we've got top geographies in watch time, and it's 57% United States, 13% United Kingdom, 4.9% Canada, 4.2% Germany, and 3.8% Australia. So, mostly US and UK, which doesn't surprise me, but then a few countries close to those. Yeah, Germany's in Europe as well, Canada's obviously just above America, and Australia's on the other side of the world. So Australians watching, well done. Also, because Australians, for some reason, have like one of the biggest like revenue per videos. Australians apparently actually watch the ads, which is great to see. Next up, what is the gender ratio of your audience? It's actually got worse recently. It's male, 96%, female, 3.5%. And 0.5%, who knows? Yeah, it got to a point where it was like 5% female, which was quite nice. But now it's like 96% male. Part of that, I think, is because if you're not on like a profile or just on like a default one, it will put you as male instead of female unless you've specifically put that through Google or through YouTube or however you're watching the video. So it's not actually completely representative. It's one of the more misleading statistics, if anything, but I've definitely got a very male-heavy audience. So thanks to the women watching this video and watching my content, I do appreciate it. I wish more of you were watching, because I don't like to think of myself as being like someone making content for men as opposed to for women. I think of my content as content for people who like video games, which is both men and women. So if more women could watch the content, it'd be great. Thanks. And next question, how do you feel about ad block? I don't like ad block, because I'll obviously be making money off of advertising, which ad block gets rid of. However, I do understand some adverts are stupid and terrible, and I don't expect people to watch a lot of them. I think advertisers need to do a lot to make better adverts, and YouTube really needs to be better with what it allows as adverts. Like I've had recently, there's been one Let's Play channel Let's Play style channel, who's literally just put like a 18-minute Battlefield 5 beta video as an advert that runs before videos. Why YouTube? Why let that be allowed? Has anyone watched that all the way through? Anyone at all? This is popping up on videos that are like 5 minutes long. The advert's 18 minutes. You've all seen like before when there's an hour-long advert before a YouTube video. That stuff shouldn't be allowed. I'd say 5-minute limit on ads. 5 minutes is a long time, and I don't expect most people to watch ads that long. But I did see there was a Jim Bean's Iced Coffee, or Jimmy Bean's, something like that. He did a rap. That was like 3 or 4 minutes. That was quite entertaining. I watched that. But yeah, I don't like ad block. I do understand why some people use it. If you support people and want them to make money, please whitelist or turn it off or something like that, because people like content creators will lose out on money if you're not doing that. It's not to say you have to watch every advert or anything like that. I perfectly understand people skipping some of them. I personally try to watch adverts if I can, because I know it means content creators get more money from it. But some adverts are terrible, and I will just skip them sometimes. So I've got negative feelings towards ad block, but definitely not like just negative. I do understand why people want to use it, and I'm not going to be like, oh, you're a monster for using it. I understand, but I still don't like it, because yeah, it loses me money. It's difficult for me to be like, oh yeah, ad block's great, I like being poor, yay! Now, next up is just on that subject. It's how much money do you make from YouTube Patreon, ? My honest guess would be enough for a modest lunch once a week. It's better than that, it is. I've also recently gained some extra patrons, like, I'm going to boot it up now to double check. I think I'm getting $38 a month off of Patreon now. Oh, $34 per month, sorry. Because, yeah, I've got 8 patrons now, which means we're a squad, which is quite nice. And I've got 2 people doing $1 or more per month. I've got 5 on $5 or more, which is pretty cool. And I've got 1 on $10 or more, who is a good guy. He's like supported the Patreon from the start, so he's given like the most money, which has been very nice. So Patreon, I earn like, I'm trying to work out what $38 means in like actual physical stuff. I suppose every 2 months it would be a new video game. So it's like 6 video games a year, even though that's not what I spend it on. I spent the budget on that on like upgrading the PC so things work better. And once I go full time, it will be spent on food so I can eat. And YouTube varies a lot. Like, I do get asked about the revenue, and I've heard you're not supposed to talk about it and all of that. But yeah, on like some days, like beforehand it looks like I was making maybe £5 a day, which is less than minimum wage over here, or less than my minimum wage anyway. However, recently, I've earned like a couple of hours of working per day off of what my standard pay is, because my videos have suddenly shot up, they've been picked up by the algorithm a bit, and that's been great. So it varies a lot. I earn enough to pay for at least half of my rent off of YouTube. And if that goes back up again, I'll earn enough to pay for all of my rent off of YouTube, which will be the ideal scenario. But yeah, I make a little bit, but it's nowhere near enough to actually live off. So it's a good job I'm going full-time in about a week, isn't it? Yeah, I've specifically saved up money for 3 years, so I can do, like, at least 6 months of YouTube full-time. Oh, yeah, I'm not earning a lot, But I'm earning more than smaller channels, I guess. Yeah. And next question, because we're almost up to the hour mark now. Wow. Thanks for everyone who's tuned in this long. Next question, do you ever edit out parts of your gameplay where you played extremely poorly? No, or at least not on purpose. I have got some Kingdoms of Amalur videos coming out. It's probably going to be like in a couple of weeks. But I edited out a fair few combat scenes, but that's just because I had lots of combat, like a ton of combat in the video. There was like 20 fights probably in one video, and a lot of them just kind of went roughly the same. There wasn't anything interesting in them. I took maybe a few hits, but I didn't get anywhere near close to even half health on some of them, so I just edited them out. Generally, parts where I'm actually playing poorly are some of the most entertaining bits. Like, I remember in my Skyrim No Kill videos, one of the most entertaining episodes was where I was really struggling with Esbern, because he wasn't, like, obeying to the whole no kill thing. And because things were going so badly, I was getting angry, I was getting worked up, I was like, no, Esbern, I'm going to murder your entire family! And it was funny, because I was doing no kill, and that happened. So generally the parts where things go bad and I play poorly are the most entertaining bits. So if anything, I try and keep them in. It's also a reason why I like doing challenge runs so much. I don't want to just breeze through the games. I want it to be difficult, bad things to happen, and me to react to them naturally. Because I don't like getting all worked up just like, oh, it's the person with the machete 5 feet away whilst I've got a gun, oh no, I'm going to die. I'll be like, nah, I've got this. So I like to make things difficult, because me playing poorly is more entertaining than me just being like a boss. Because I'm not like the best at video games or anything, and my channel isn't revolved around me being like the best player at anything, even though I'm decent at the games I put time into, like Skyrim. I obviously learnt the mechanics of that very well, hence a lot of Legendary series. But I don't want to bring myself across as like a god tier gaming pro or something like that, because I'm not. I'm just someone who likes playing video games. Next question! What ideas do you have for making a living off video game content that doesn't involve YouTube? I don't have ideas off of that. Yeah, it's not like... I suppose it would be if I made a video game, but I don't. Or go to a different platform, which I'm not currently planning on. Yeah, all the living off of video game content will be YouTube-based. Or Patreon-based, I guess. So, yeah. I don't know how else I can make a living off of video game content, to be honest. And question number 7 is, do you ever have misgivings about the violent content of your videos? I'll be honest, this has never passed my mind. Like, at all. Because it's not like I personally am adding a ton more violence to things. I do have some of my builds, like Rage is quite a violent guy, and I wanted him to come across that way, and the story, I even cut out some of the violence and some of the adult themes in that, because that's something I got a bit worried about with going on YouTube. But generally, I think if people are watching the games that I'm playing, they're used to the violence in the games. It's not like I'm playing the most brutal games out, but I don't even play like Mortal Kombat, which is the one that years ago got all the censors and TV stations mad, so I don't really have misgivings about it. Especially seeing as I prefer much more violent stuff. Like, on Netflix I'll often be like, oh, what, it's rated 12? Why would I want to watch that? Give me proper violence, please. So yeah, never have misgivings about it. If you don't like violent content, fair enough. That's perfectly fine, I don't have a problem with that. But I don't see my content as being particularly violent. And next question! Question 8. We're almost, like, we're 2/3 of the way through this section. Have game companies ever sent you review copies of games? I've never had a review copy. I think the biggest thing I had was a Wormhole Wars, which is now called Splitgate. I got messaged by the devs, and they were like, hey, we like your Fallout stuff, do you want to play this game? So I did a first look. I think, did I make a video on the second channel? I'm not sure if I did or not. They were giving out beta keys to lots of people, and it's not like I got paid for it or anything like that. It was just literally like, we like your stuff, we're going to give you a beta key. And I was like, cool, I'm going to make a video on this, because it looks like an interesting game. I want to play it. I did enjoy it. I haven't played it since, though, because I had problems with like resolution and tons of stuff like that. But yeah, I was like, that's an interesting game. I'll play it, but that's the closest I've ever had to being sent review copies. I'd love to get sent review copies, don't get me wrong, but something I would totally accept. But I'm a small YouTuber. I don't get handouts from companies, unfortunately. That being said, I recently had, like, someone talking about a mod they want me to play through on Fallout 4. And with that, even that, where they're just being like, hey, here's a mod, can you play on it? I'm like, yeah, I'd be happy to do that. And then they were like, oh, well, we'd like you to play on it maybe a little after 76. And now I'm like, I don't know, it feels like you're dictating how this goes a bit. So now I'm a bit misgived about that. I like being able to do things my own way. So if I just get sent a game and they're like, yep, you can play this early, that's fine. I'll give an honest opinion on it. I get a free game, which I'm really happy about. So I'll likely be a bit more positive, especially at the beginning. But if a game sucks and I get a review copy, I'm still not going to enjoy it. I've been... Yeah, MDM Gaming, I want to say I'm not digging on Mafia 2 too much, but he gifted me Mafia 2 on Steam, which was really nice. I played it, it was alright, but it wasn't really for me. There were things I liked about it, but there were a lot of things I didn't like. So I don't play the game anymore, and if someone asks for my honest opinion about it, I'll be like, I don't really like it that much, but I can see how it appeals to people. And I think it helps that I'm kind of a positive person, that I'm not going to completely slate every video game. Even like Kingdom Come Deliverance, I really didn't like, but I understand why people like it. That's a game that I have no interest in playing again. But I get why people like it, and I'll be like, yeah, if you like it, play the game. This is why I didn't like it. If that's something that puts you off, I'd say probably don't play it. But if that doesn't bother you, definitely give it a go. And I'm going off tangent then. Question 9. Do your videos ever get demonetized? Yes, not as regularly as some channels. I try to be good at not having stuff that would get them demonetized, being careful with what I write in descriptions and titles and thumbnails. But sometimes it just happens. Like the Wanderer Wednesdays, the nude run to Far Harbour, that got demonetized, obviously. But for the most part, I get around it. I'm just careful so it doesn't happen too much. Next is, what ideas are you kicking around for non-video game content? None, really? Not properly, anyway. The channel is gaming-based. It's going to stay that way. I've got a video like this. This is non-gaming related, because it's just a Q&A. But I'm not planning on doing anything significant, but it's non-gaming related. I mean, there's stuff I could potentially do. I do have some interests outside of gaming, but they're not stuff I've really picked up in a long time, like archery and medievalness, but yeah, I've not got really anything planned. 11 is, how's that novel coming along? Poorly, really poorly. I've been focusing so much on YouTube that I've kind of put it to the side. I'm hoping once I go full-time on YouTube, when I'm like, not bored of playing a video game, but I want to take a break, I can just be like, okay, let's work on the novel for a bit. Because I do really want to get that done, but it's something that's going to take a long time, like even longer than I first thought, and I thought it was going to take me years. So give it a decade. Give it a decade, I'll be out. I know, I reckon it'll be quicker than that, but I need to find a way to dedicate specific slots of time towards it so I can get it done. And right at the end, he says, I thought of another question. Are you part of some other YouTube content creator network or have artistic representation of any kind? No, and I don't want to be. I very much like this being my own thing. Like I've kind of alluded to in previous questions, I don't want people having any control over me. I want to just, this to be me. Even if a company came up and was like, hey, we're going to pay you to review this game and do positive stuff, I'll say no. And I've actually had companies in the past not offer me money even, just be like, hey, we'll give you some free advertising on our thing if you review this. And I was like, sure, I'll take a look at it. And then they're like, cool, here's the list of phrases you need to say. And I just went, no, I'm not doing that. Because I like being free to do what I want. I make the money from what I make. It's not being taken by like a big MCM or MCN? Multi-channel network, yeah, MCN. Or anything like that. And I mean, I've got content creators who I'm friends with, I suppose, and I like supporting them, and us all helping each other out, but I also wouldn't really want us to be part of some official network. I don't like that. But yeah, I'm basically solo on this. Like, really solo, like there's no one even around me. I do everything on my own, pretty much. Although, early thumbnails, I did have help from a fan, who's like a graphic design student, and I'm really grateful for the guy for that. I'm not revealing his name for obvious reasons, but yeah, he really helped with that. And the reason why my channels kind of have, my thumbnails have kind of like a branding now, is down to him, me going, oh wow, he's done that, that's really, really cool how he's got like this whole thing sorted out. And since then I was like, oh cool, I can kind of make stuff like that, and I make all the thumbnails now. Obviously he did it for a little bit. You see like my Skyrim Let's Play with a Ranger and some of the Hulk builds, he did thumbnails for that. And then you can, if you look through chronologically my thumbnails, you can see the point where I was kind of learning how to do it, because there's a couple of bad thumbnails out there, which I probably should redo at some time, but I won't get round to, if we're being honest. Okay, it's been over an hour now. Even with the little bits I'm cutting out, we're probably getting close to an hour. So the final section is What is Love? Asked by both Limitless Trash and MasterQuest Gaming. What is love? Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more. And I'm not going to hurt you anymore. You've all been very good for tuning in for what is my longest non-live stream video. And I want to thank you all so much for that. Hit the like button, do all of that stuff. YouTube, who cares? I don't mind if you don't do it. You've stuck around till the end. You're awesome. Yeah, hell, you could dislike the video if you want. I really don't mind. You've watched till the end, and I appreciate that. So, I don't know when I'm doing another Q&A, but if you do want to ask me any questions, I live stream every Sunday at 6 PM UK time. That could change in the future, with me obviously going full-time on YouTube. I'll be able to live stream kind of when I want, so I might work out when the best time frame is to do it, because I could live stream later, and it wouldn't matter if I'm up later on Monday morning, because I don't have to catch the bus to get to the job at a certain time. So that might change, but if you want to ask more questions, yeah, try and tune into the live stream. If you've got the notification bell on, it should tell you when I'm live streaming, which makes things easier. But yeah, once again, thank you all for watching this. Thanks for 10k subscribers. It's really cool, and like, this is a proper mark where I'm like, okay, things are going well. Because from here, it'll be much easier to grow. It's each little milestone, 100, like 500 subs, 1k subs, 5k subs, 10k subs, like 25k subs. Each milestone really helps just you exponentially grow. So it means a great deal to everyone who subscribed. A huge thank you to my patrons. We should have a Patreon end card come up soon. They're starting next month, they're literally going to be paying for my food so I don't starve to death, which is pretty damn awesome of them. I appreciate it so much. You're keeping me literally alive. Yeah. Once again, just thanks everyone. You're pretty awesome. Sarge out.